Hi there, welcome to 90% Knitting. This is episode 393. I'm Lisa, also known as Fiber Nymph, and today is Sunday, July 10th, and it is much later in the day than I thought it was going to be when I thought I was going to start recording. But as so often happens on weekends, plans just take on a life of their own, and so instead of recording earlier, I spent 3 hours outside helping my husband dismantle part of our electric fence. That is where I was earlier today instead of recording, but now I'm here with you and it's sunny, and I thought about going out on the deck, but you know what? I was just too tired to drag everything out there, so we're in the bedroom, and I hope that's okay. But it is a very pretty day out there. Lovely to work outside, actually. Let's see. You'll find show notes in the description box below the video on YouTube. I also post show notes on the Fiber Nymph Dye Works blog, as well as in the Ravelry group, the Fiber Nymph Dye Works Ravelry group on Ravelry. All those things are linked below. Let's see what else. There is a Ravelry group for Fiber Nymph Dye Works if you're interested in checking that out and if that's available to you. And I also have a YouTube membership available if you would like to help support the channel. It supports my time and my efforts making the content, as well as some bonus content here and there. There's only one level, and if you choose to be part of that, I really, really appreciate that. I'm hoping to add more benefits to that as time goes on, but I really appreciate everybody who does support the channel. So information about that's below as well. I am not wearing any knitwear today because, as beautiful a day as it is also warm, so no knitwear. I do want to let you know that I'll talk more about shop news in general later, but I did want to just give you a heads up at the top of the show that I am currently running a gifts and accessories sale in the shop. So anything that I have in the shop that is not yarn, essentially. Actually, it does not include my patterns. I did not put patterns included in this, but like tangible gifts and accessories. So mugs, wine glasses, greeting cards, tags, notions, knitting needles. I carry high knitting needles, the steels, not the sharps. What else? Just a whole bunch of things. Anything like that I do currently have marked down. You don't need a coupon code. It's all, the sale price is already what's up there. Mugs and glasses are 20% off. Cards and tags 25% off. Notions and knitting needles 15% off. Oh, and shawl pins are anywhere from 20 to 25% off depending on which ones they are. So you can go check those out. I don't really talk about that stuff a whole lot. I have a lot of it in the shop because I like to be able to make those things available to people. And you know, sometimes it's also a nice thing to add to your order if you're trying to, you know, get the free shipping level or something like that. But I would like to be able to like move a lot of this stuff out of the shop right now, because as fall's coming, I would like to be able to maybe bring some new and exciting things in. So anyway, if you're interested in any of those things, go ahead and check out the shop. Okay, let's get into the 90% part of the podcast. And I originally thought I didn't really have much to show you today. And then as I was writing the show notes, I realized, I guess I have a little bit more. I just don't have a ton of knitting. I have some other fiber crafts that we're going to start out with because my finished objects do not begin with knitting. So we're going to start out with my weaving. And I talked about this last time. I don't think I got to really show you much because if I remember correctly, it was still on the loom, but I finished my mug rugs. So I talked about this last time. I warped my Ashford 10-inch rigid heddle samplet loom. I did a narrow warp, and so it's only about, I'd say 5 inches after it's off the loom. And my intention was to do practice for placemats, because that's what I would like to weave on my larger loom. But I thought I would practice and see if what I had in mind was going to work out by just doing little mug rugs. So I warped this, and I ended up with 8 mug rugs about this size. And I used different cottons. I told you I used 8-2 cotton for the warp. So that's this real fine cotton here. And then I used regular, like, Dishy or Sugar and Cream, that weight dishwash cotton for the rest of it. And this one was an odd one. I was running out of what I had on my shuttle, so I ended up warping another shuttle with different yarn, and then, or not warping, winding. And I did a clasped weft kind of thing there. That's why that looks a little bit different than the other ones, but it's cute. It turned out well. Most of them look like this though. So, and I just had a lot of leftover Sugar and Cream, Peaches and Cream yarn that I've used in the past for dishcloths. So that was what I was using, just using up those little bits. So there's one. Come on, they're all sticking together. There's one. There's one. So that's basically the 3 different yarns I used. And then, like I said, this one had a couple of different ones in it. I feel like maybe there was another one that, I don't know. And then the last one, I knew I was getting towards the end of my warp, and I didn't want to do like one more and then end up with a really small amount for the last one. So I just did, this is more of not a mug rug, but like maybe a mug carpet runner. I don't know. You can put multiple mugs on it. I'll find a use for it. But anyway, I was really happy with how it turned out. It worked exactly the way I thought it would. It's a weft-faced weaving, basically, because I wanted the heavier yarns to be predominant, and it worked out really good. So I feel confident that I can move forward with my placemat project. I need to kind of inventory my cotton and see what I have that I'll have enough of a single color to do the placemats for the weft. I know I've got a couple of balls of yarn of Dishy, Knit Picks Dishy, which I have actually never used for dishcloth, I don't think. I don't remember now. But that's actually the yarn I want to use because it's a little smoother than the Sugar and Cream, and I think it would be nice for dishcloth. So I need to look and see what I have. I really don't want to buy more cotton for this, so I may end up just doing a couple of placemats out of the Dishy that I have, and then I maybe will do placemats out of just other cotton that I have, and just, you know, have mix and match placemats, because it's not like if I was doing them like as a gift for someone, which I may end up doing later on, like if these turn out well, I may end up making some placemats for some friends, because I have friends that I make gifts for every Christmas and everything. But for now, I think I'm just going to try to use what cotton I have in my stash. So my mug rugs were a success. And jumping ahead a little bit, I am going to announce the winners of the MIYO second quarter prize winners. And anybody who wins a prize will also be getting one of these along with their Yarny prize. Aren't you excited? All right, so those are my mug rugs. Is that all I wanted to tell you about those? I think I did. I think that's it. Okay, so that is my weaving finished object. I have a spinning finished object, and no, it is not my combo spin that I talked about last time. That would be kind of incredible. But I did spin that last bit of Shetland fiber that I talked about. If you remember, I had these 4 skeins that I had spun from a Shetland Spinning Set that I'd put together for the shop, oh my gosh, probably back in 2015, 2016. I know I was spinning mine in 2016. And I did the first 4 colors. So we've got white, fawn, or not really white, it's ecru, fawn, morit, and gray. I did those, but I never did this one. It was just waiting, and so I did it. This is considered black. It's really like a very, very dark brown. It's kind of looking black on the screen though, but in person it looks more dark brown, like a dark reddish brown. So anyway, these are now done. I ended up with a little over 800 yards on these, which is a nice amount. I would say it's probably a heavy sport weight or a light DK. And I think what I want to use it for is my Hansel hat project, which is another project that has been languishing for quite some time. I looked on my project page and just to see when I started it, I started it in 2018. I thought it was much older than that, but apparently not. Time has no meaning anymore though, so, you know. Anyway, it's in this bag. So, okay. So this is the Shetland Trader, which is Gudrun Johnson, her Hansel pattern. Now, when I first bought this pattern, I was going to make the half-hap. But when you buy the half-hap pattern, you get both the half and the full hap. A full hap is a square shawl that's folded in half when it's used. But you can also just do a half version. So I had printed out the full version because when I got it, I thought, you know what, maybe I'll just make the full one. Sure, why not? And then I got to the point where I went back and I'm like, no, I'm just going to do the half one. So I do have the center triangle, which is that main gray part. That's done. That is finished. But you can see these wavy bits here and how nice they are in different colors. I think I'm going to use that Shetland yarn for those sections because I'll get really defined lace wavy bits. The shell lace, I think that's what it's called. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, shell lace is what it's called. So it looks very feather and fanish, and I'm pretty sure I'll probably be pulling my hair out anyway when I'm trying to make it because I'm feather and fan and I don't usually get along. Where was I going with this? Oh, yeah, here, let me show you what I have so far. I have the triangle, and I have not worked on this since like early 2019. And I remember when I worked on it too because I was sick one day. I didn't feel good and I just parked myself on the couch, watched Lord of the Rings, and worked on this. And I finished the middle triangle. So I had 3 skeins of this yarn, hand spun. And this took a full one of those, plus I've still got a whole bunch left. So if I do that border in those 5 colors, then the outside of it is done in this color again. So I'm going to have plenty of yarn to do that. And I think that'll be fine. All right, so that is my spinning FO. Upcoming spinning wise will be my combo spin that I'm going to do. I showed you all the fibers last time, and I'm doing that with the intention of spinning yarn to make a DRK everyday pullover sweater, everyday sweater. I don't remember exactly what it was called, but it's an Andrea Mallory pattern that I really want to make with hand spun. So that will be coming up. I may record like a little extra content video of me like separating my fiber out for my combo spin. I did that the last time I did a combo spin. I think maybe it wasn't a separate video. I think I put it in with the podcast, but maybe I'll just do it as an extra little video and put up because it's always fun to just play with the yarn or play with the fiber and put it all together. And if you are not familiar with how you do a combo spin or how you prep for a combo spin, then that might be interesting to you. Oh, and I did fix my drive band. I think I mentioned that last time too, that the drive band on my Ashford Traveler wheel was it was ready to be replaced. It was so stretched out and it was very frayed. So I did fix it. The last time I did it, I think I told you, I purchased a maintenance kit or something, I think from the Woolery, which included the drive band, cotton, cord, cable, whatever it is, along with a bunch of other things for maintenance. This time I did not do that because I didn't need all the other stuff. I just took some of my leftover dishcloth cotton and used that, and it works fine. I tried it out with a little bit of some of the fiber that's going to be in my my combo spin. It works fine. I don't know if it'll hold up as well as the cotton string that was actually meant for the wheel, but I started thinking, like, I'm sure women back in ye olden days when they had to make a drive band, they weren't sending away somewhere getting a specific type of cotton string for their drive band. They were using what they had. So, and I figure even if it doesn't last that long, I've got plenty of other cotton that I can use to make a drive band. So all is well. Okay, moving on to knitting. I have one knitting finished object. Actually, I don't have a knitting. It's just crochet. I don't even know why I said that. It's a crochet finished object. And it's a little pouch. And it's funny, I have not finished these strings because I'm not 100% sure what I want to do. I may put some beads on them, but this is a pouch for a tarot deck of mine. It actually came in a really nice box, but it's a big box and it's hard to store where I store some of my other decks. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to just make a pouch for it. And I did not follow a pattern. I wing them. So I start at the bottom. I chained, I think maybe 15 stitches. I'd have to count. Something like that. I make a chain and then I pick up along the one edge and then I increase a few stitches at the end and then I pick up along the other edge of that chain and then I increase here again and then I go down and then I do some more increases for the next round, go down, more increases, next round, and then when I'm ready to turn to go upwards, I crochet through the back loop, which is where you get like this little edge. So I do that all around and then I just did half double crochet up to here to where I was ready to start making the little flap. And then I just worked the number of stitches that would, you know, make the flap cover the deck. I actually went like about one stitch too far on this side, but I don't care. So then I did the flap, and then at the end I did, I chained, I don't know, maybe 70 stitches, and then I connected yarn on the other side, did another 70, and so this can wrap around both ways and then tie in the front to hold the flap down the way you saw it a minute ago. I can't do it the way I'm holding it right now. That looks really bad. But anyway, it works great. And it's funny because I had a whole bunch of my leftover like DK weight, worsted weight yarn out, and in the basket was this yarn. This is some leftover yarn from a skein of Onyx Fiber Arts. I believe it's the DK weight. And I had made a hat for Emma out of this yarn. And these colors were like perfect to go with this particular deck. And I kind of like doing matchy-matchy things. But here, this is the Orion's Animal Tarot. But like, let me see, yeah, see this card? This is a really good example of some of the colors in this deck. And I love having things that match like that. Like, there's another one. Just like all those really fun, bright colors. Not even bright. Like, they're bright colors with that dark background. These are really beautiful cards. This is a newer deck. I haven't worked with it a lot. But, like, here. I will fan them out just to show you the colors and how excited I am about the yarn for this pouch with these colors of these cards. So, like, there's the colors, here's the yarn, and I just think it was a really good match. So, and I still have yarn left over, like probably a quarter of that ball. So anyway, that was my little impromptu tarot pouch. I have one more deck that I definitely do need to make a pouch for, but maybe I'll have that next time. Who knows? Okay. So I'll set that aside. So that is my only, I don't have any knitting FOs this week. I just have all other crafts. That's so bizarre. That doesn't happen very often. But I do have 2 knitting works in progress that I will show you. And the first one is my Feathers and Tunes socks, which you already saw the finished one. I finished that when I was on my vacation. And the second one is now this far. So the cuff is done, the heel flap is done, heel turn, and I'm now on the gusset decreases. So I just started those this morning. This is basically a sitting at the dining room table project. Just the way some people have purse socks or car socks. This is my after meal socks or during breakfast socks. This is my Fiber Nymph Dye Works Bounce base, and the colorway is Feathers and Tunes. So anyway, it's coming along. Maybe they'll be done by the next time you see them, but just my regular 2x1 rib pattern that I use for a lot of my socks anymore. Okay, so there's that, and then I have a new cast on that I'm loving. I'm so excited about how this is turning out. And I don't have the pattern here because actually I didn't print it out. I think I'm working with it off of my phone because it's pretty straightforward and I've made it before. It is Andrea Mallory's Weekender, but it's the Weekender Light, so it's the fingering weight version. I will put a picture in here of her, one of her pictures if I can. Anyway, so I decided that I wanted to make one out of one of my dark rainbow half skein project sets. And I had my set that I dyed up as sort of my prototype set when I was working with the colors and trying to, you know, get them figured out. So that's what I'm using. So I'm going to show you what I have so far. And then I'll show you one of the sets that's in the shop now because there's slight differences. So anyway, here's what we got. Oh, look how, oh, I just love how this looks. Oh my gosh. So we've got the 6 dark, I'm trying not to put this in front of my mouth. The 6 dark rainbow colors. So I cast on, and you cast on with the split hem. I made both of my hems. I didn't make the back one longer. I don't really care for that. So I made both of them the same length. And I have them pinned together because I had a little flipping issue going on at the beginning, which I'll talk to you in a minute about. But anyway, so the 6 colors. So the hem, I did the red, the orange, the yellow, which you can kind of see there, green, blue, and then after the blue, that is where I joined. So the first one in the round is the purple. And then again, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, purple. I love how they're coming together. The fact that they have that deep, the dark colors dyed on them underneath the brighter colors ties the colors together so well. And again, I'm just loving how it's working up. So this is my version. I'm doing the size 43 inch size, maybe. I don't remember. I went down one size just because I know I tend to be a loose knitter, and this is a superwash yarn. It's going to grow, and I don't want the 10 inches of positive ease is what the pattern calls for. I don't want 10 inches of positive ease. And my regular weekender that I did do with my combo spin is quite roomy, and I want this to be a little more fitted. So anyway, what was I saying? I was going to say something. I don't know. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So the reason I have these pinned together, this is my beginning of round, and I don't know if you can see it. This is a little funky right here. When I started going in the round, the first couple of rounds, I know it was fine, but at one point, some part of this flipped, and so it ended up twisted. And by the time I realized that I was also a couple rows past there, and I was not ripping them out, and so I was able to go back enough to get the needle kind of under where it needed to be for it to be right, but there is still like, I think like 1 row worth of twist in it. I'm gonna neaten that up with the ends later on, so I'm not super worried about it. And honestly, I think I did the same exact thing with the other one. I think. Maybe I didn't, but like, I'm having a sense of deja vu about it. Anyway, so the yarn I'm using is also Bounce, Fiber Nymph Dye Works Bounce, which is an 80/20 superwash merino nylon fingering weight. And the colors are the dark rainbow. So this is the one of the sets that's in the shop. I have it in the shop on a bunch of different bases. No, that could be wrong. I have it on Bounce, sorry, Bounce, Bedazzled, and I want to say Bonafide, the DK weight. So those are the ones that are in the shop. Anyway, after I did my my test skeins, my prototype skeins, I did decide to change the colors up just a teensy bit, particular in the yellow, because I wanted the yellow to have a little bit more contrast to the orange than it has in mine. And the green is a little bit brighter too. Is nope, the green is pretty much the same. Maybe it's just the yellow I changed up. The yellow and the orange looks like it might be a little bit brighter too. This was the main area I wanted to have more contrast from what mine have. So those are probably the ones that are a little bit brighter. The rest of them are the same though. So anyway, there are several of these in the shop if you too would like to use this. Now I'm doing some mods, I know, shocker. Number one, which you might have already noticed if you're familiar with the Weekender, is it's usually what you see on the outward facing, the public side of it is reverse stockinette with the little slip stitch row going up. I don't like reverse stockinette. I've tried so hard to like reverse stockinette. I don't like reverse stockinette. So I'm doing mine stockinette. I'm still doing the slip stitch, which I realize is not going to be nearly as pronounced. Like you can see it. And I figure I'm doing it every other row, so it's carrying up the color below as it goes up. Just like you would do, like if you, sometimes people do that when you're doing self-striping socks and you like slip stitches every other stitch or something whenever you get to that color change, just as a little, you know, detail. So I don't know. I'm going to do it. I don't know how visible it'll be, but it'll be there. And what I might actually do is end up adding more columns of slipped stitches next to it as I go up, so they'll be like growing in width. I saw another sweater that did that. But it was also on the reverse stockinette background, but I don't care. I mean, like the reverse stockinette, that just doesn't do anything for me. Like I don't like it. I love stockinette though. So anyway, I'm super happy with how this is turning out. And in case you've been following along the last few times, I seem to be on a kick where I'm doing projects that end up with having 100 or more, not literally, feels like hundreds of ends to weave in. And I decided to try doing the clasped weft join for the ends on the sweater. I'm doing them over more stitches than I did whenever I did that scrappy hat last time, just to give it some added staying power. So I'm hopeful that that will do that, but I'm also hopeful that by the time I'm done, it will mean I will not have ends to weave in. That would be fabulous. So we'll see how that goes. It's a trial. Anyway, that's my one change, the fact that I'm doing it as a stockinette sweater, not reverse stockinette. The other thing is, since I'm working with 1,200 yards total, and I think the pattern calls for over 13 for my size, I'm making it as a short sleeved top. I don't know if I will do any kind of sleeves after the top part is done, because it's a drop sleeve kind of design. I don't know. We'll see what yarn I have left. I may end up doing a shorter sleeve, or I may just put like an edging around that drop sleeve, that drop shoulder sleeve part. We'll see. But I had intended it to be a short sleeve top whenever I started it. I don't make a lot of short sleeve knitwear because I don't feel like I get a lot of wear out of it. I'm trying to think. I have my Soldotna is short sleeve, but it's also heavier, and I wear something under it. So I don't know. I guess, you know, theoretically I could wear something underneath this too. Maybe. We'll see how it goes. But that is it. Those are my only works in progress, including my new cast on that I'm super excited about, and it's kind of all I really want to be knitting on right now. So upcoming, in addition to what I already mentioned, like the placemats, although the placemats are going to be a little bit, and my combo spin, and well, what I'm working on. In addition to that, I am going to cast on or chain on a top for Emma. And do I have the pattern here? I think I do have that. I mentioned that I had a bunch of patterns that she had picked out, and I had some yarn that I had purchased for them. And this is the one I'm going to make. It's called the Gilmore Bralette. So this is what it looks like. It's got this really fun lace detail up there, and then it's like a lace up back. You can see on the picture there how it goes together. And the designer is Knits and Knots. I don't know what the actual person's name is, but that's what this says. If I can find it, I will put it down here. Anyway, so yeah, I'm going to make that for her. And the yarn that I have that I'm pretty sure I bought for this, because one of the pattern pictures is in black, is this Mainstays 100% cotton yarn. And I'm pretty sure this is a Walmart brand. I feel like I got this at Walmart. It's Aran weight, but that's what the pattern calls for. And see, I feel like Aran weight anything, Aran weight, I mean, it's cotton, it's not wool, but it just feels like it would be a hot thing. Although this doesn't cover a ton, so maybe it won't be hot, I don't know. This pattern, from what I can tell, is it's sort of more of a tutorial or a recipe kind of deal. That you can basically make it for any size. So, and there are pictures of people of all different shapes and sizes wearing it. So that's cool. Okay, let's move on to the MIYO, because we are now in our break. July is an off month for the actual MAO. However, you're more than welcome to continue chattering in the thread. I would love it if you did that. I'm slowly getting caught up again because you guys talk a lot. I always say that, and I don't mean it in a bad way, but I am behind again on my posts, but I'm trying to get caught up. However, since the second quarter is over, I now get to announce prize winners. I'm going to announce prize winners for the chatter thread. There's one chatter thread winner. There's one Instagram post winner if you're using the Instagram hashtag. And then I have one second quarter finished object winner. Then I have a whole other prize that's specifically for a special award that I'm going to do after these first three. So let's do the first three first. So since there's 3 prize winners, I have 4 prizes for you to choose from. So if you're one of the winners, you need to email me, fibernymph@gmail.com. Let me know you won. Send me your mailing address, full name, mailing address, and what your top 3 prize choices are. So the prize choices are as follows. A set of Inversibles in purple and silver gray. A striped accents shorty sock set. Lots of S's. This is the light gray blue with the mini in the Feathers and Tunes colorway. So that's actually the colorway that I'm knitting my socks in. But this is in the Mountain Tweed BFL. I have a winter palette mini skein set in Bedazzled. And lastly, we have fiber, which is actually, this is my Your Mermazing colorway, which is my Splash Pad Party colorway right now, but I wanted to offer fiber, and this is what I have on hand, so why not? You don't have to be taking part in the Splash Pad Party to get this. It's just, you know, a nice, light, fun, summery color, and it is on BFL. So those are your 4 prize options. Again, if you're one of the winners, email me, send me your mailing information, and send me your top 3 prize choices, and I will get out to you whichever one is available, whenever of your top choices. And you'll also be getting a mug rug that I wove along with your prize. So yay. Okay, first up, chatter prizes. So we had chatter posts 1,322 to 2,344. See what I mean? You guys talk a lot, so there's lots of posts. Random number generator chose post number 1,853, who was K8R, and that is Linda. So Linda, congratulations. You are one of our winners. Please send me all that stuff and tell me your prize choices, and I will get one of those out to you. Okay, next up, Instagram posts. There were 61 Instagram posts during the second quarter of the MAL, and Random Number Generator chose the 50th post, which was by Endless Stitches by Sarah, is her username, and that is Sarah. So congratulations, Sarah. Same thing. Send me that information, and I'll get a prize out to you. And lastly, from the FOs, we had 79 finished object entries sent in. I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit, because this was difficult to get a winner that I could verify. And we're going to talk about why. But after a whole lot of going through the random number generator and trying to verify winners. Did finally get one, and okay, sorry, my phone decided it was going to like do something weird, and I had to like stop and figure out what was going on. Where was I? Oh, finished object, the finished object winner. Okay, out of 79 entries, the random number generator chose entry number 57, which was from Bikes Brews Use, and that is Kelsey. So congratulations, Kelsey, and her submission was for her hand spun, a skein of hand spun called, the colorway I think was Capri, and it was Charolais, I'm pronouncing that wrong, Charolais is the breed. It was lovely, so congratulations. Okay, and now I have a special prize that I'm going to offer. I'm back. I'm sorry. I had to go find something for my husband and help him with that. And I'm now totally off track. Okay, we're doing drawings, right? I did all the regular ones. We were doing the special one. I have a special drawing for you guys. Okay, so this is for the first half of the mouse. So if you participated in the first or second quarters with finished object entries, you were involved in this drawing. And I have a special prize that was donated to the podcast, and that's what actually sparked my desire to do this special drawing. So this beautiful project bag was donated by Carol, who is Knits and Pearls, and she hosts the At Stitch in Time podcast. And she makes these bags. She does not sell them. She doesn't have a shop, but she makes them and was gracious enough to donate one for a prize for the MIYO, and I appreciate that. Thanks again so much, Carol. And I decided that since this was such a lovely prize donation, I wanted to dye up a skein of yarn to coordinate with the bag. So this is going to be just a one-of-a-kind skein of yarn just for the prize winner of this bag. And rather than using it just for one of the regular drawings, since it was kind of extra special and a little bit more to it, that's why I decided to make this for anybody who submitted a finished object in the whole first half of the make-along. So, I don't know what I did with my piece of paper. I probably sat it down out there. I'm not going to go run and find it, but I do remember who the winner was. Out of all of the first and second quarter finished object entries, the random number generator chose entry number 106, which I know that means nothing to you because it's on my spreadsheet and the numbers are actually reversed from how the order that they come in, so that means nothing to you either. But the winner was Pepper RN, who is Pam, and she had knit a hat out of some of my For Ukraine yarn that I did a few months back, and that was her finished object that wins her this prize. So Pam, congratulations, you've got that beautiful project bag and a skein of coordinating yarn coming your way. So please, email me and let me know you won, and I will get that out to you. So thank you to everybody who has been taking part in the MIYO. I really appreciate it. I hope you're having as much fun as I am seeing you guys take part in it, because it's a lot of fun. I love our community in the group. You guys are fantastic. I'm just glad you're having a good time. However, I did want to just say a couple of reminders, because as I alluded to a little earlier, choosing the finished object winners, both the special one and the one for just the second quarter, was difficult. 2 reasons. In order to actually win a prize, number one, whenever I look at if your number comes up and you should be the prize winner, I have to verify that your entry that you sent in is actually according to the guidelines, which number one means that your project has to be in alignment with your theme, okay? And so 2 problems with that. Number one, if you didn't send in a theme submission form for the current quarter, I can't count your entry for a prize. Even if you used the same theme that you used for the quarter prior, which I think might have been the case with several people. Even if you're using the same theme, you still need to send in a theme submission form for every single quarter. So that eliminated a couple of people, and I felt really bad about that. So that's just your reminder, like coming up for the third quarter and the fourth quarter, please, please, please make sure you send in a theme submission form for both of those quarters. Even if you're using the same theme that you've used the first couple, you need to send that in. And secondly, whatever your project is that I look at, like what your entry was for, when I go to your project page or your post or whatever it is, I have to be able to verify from that link, whatever you've linked, that that project is in alignment with your theme. Now, some of them are really self-evident. So like, let's say your theme was self-striping yarn, and I look at your project and it's self-striping. That's pretty easy, right? But let's say your theme was using stash before 2022. Okay, great, that's a great theme. But if I look at your project page and there's no way for me to tell that the yarn that you used was in your stash prior to 2022, I can't verify it. So this doesn't have to be difficult. I realize not everybody keeps stash pages. I don't keep stash pages on Ravelry. Just make a note in your project page or in your Instagram post or whatever you're linking to. Just make a note saying, you know, this stash was in my yarn from before 2022, or I bought this yarn in 2017, if you happen to remember that. Whatever. You just have to have something there that lets me know that, yes, this does fit with your theme. So I really try not to make this too difficult, but like those are just the really basics for doing this for finished objects. So anyway, hopefully that won't be an issue in the future. And if you have any questions about it, feel free to email me. I did go back to the very first post in the Ravelry group and highlighted those two issues to clarify them and remind you that I do need to be able to see those two things. So hopefully that'll help. But anyway, to our winners, congratulations. I can't wait to get your prizes out to you. All right, let's jump to shop news now. Oh, look, I have paper under my face, and oh, that's like fancy. Anyway, the state of the studio. As I said at the top of the episode, I'm currently having a gifts and accessories sale. No coupon necessary. I told you what the percentages off were, but I'll say them again. The mugs and the glasses, which I may not be carrying again after this. They've become problematic shipping wise. I love them, but I'm not sure that I'm going to continue to carry them. So what's in the shop is pretty much in the shop. They are 20% off. The cards, greeting cards and gift tags are 25% off. All the other notions and needles, knitting needles, the Haya needles are 15% off right now. I'm not dumping the Hayas. They'll still be in there. I'm just offering them on sale right now. And shawl pins that are in there are 20 to 25% off, depending on which ones they are. So that is going on for the foreseeable future. I don't have like an end date in mind for that. Probably they're going to stay up, I would say, through the end of summer, maybe. We'll see. But they are that way now. I'm planning to have a shop update this coming week, either Friday or Saturday. I don't 100% know yet, so please stay tuned to social media, or if you're on the newsletter, you'll obviously get a heads up about that in the newsletter. I may do just a quickie little shop update video. I don't know. We'll see. But I don't want to say anything more about that just because I can't. Okay. Fall and Halloween colorways, however, will be making an appearance soon in the shop. I know it seems really early, but I'm going to be away for 2 weeks at the end of August into September, and that's like the big busy kickoff time for that. So I'm trying to get a head start on that stuff. So you will probably be seeing those kind of colorways coming up within the next month, just for a heads up. Okay, I think that is everything I've got for you for shop news and 90%. So let's go into 10%. I've got things coming up. I've got a root canal coming up on Friday. Yay. I have never had dental issues until I turned 50. I never even had a cavity before I was 50. I got my first filling at 50, and I was not pleased. Actually, it's the only filling that I've ever had, although I had to have the same one twice because they had to fix it. Something was wrong with it. I don't know. Anyway, root canal in that same tooth. Yay. And then I'm having some other issues that now I have to go see another specialist. Couldn't get into that specialist until August, right before we go away on our 2-week trip. Yay. So that's something going on. But in the meantime, we've had wildlife antics, because it would not be the mountain house without some wildlife antics. Raccoon. Can I just say raccoon? So let me tell you the story. I will try to make it as quick as possible. The week that Bill was away on his motorcycle trip, I was taking care of the cats, obviously feeding them, and a couple of mornings I went downstairs and found, we have this, there's a countertop there that there's like this little blanket and foam pad that is there. The cats can sleep on it if they want to. And then there's a feeder, you know, one of those self-feeding feeders, you know, gravity-fed feeders that we mainly have for when we're not here, but it's just always filled and the cats can eat whenever. Well, a couple mornings I went down there. That little bed was kind of half off the counter. One morning I went down there, the whole feeder thing was sort of toppled partway over. I thought, wow, that's interesting. And we have 5 cats, in case you're new here. We have 5 cats. They're indoor, outdoor cats. There's a cat door downstairs. You might be seeing where this is going. But we also have a neighborhood cat that's pretty feral, but over the past several months, he has gotten to know us and is happy enough to come in our basement, and he eats, and we make sure there's food for him at the time that he's going to be down there. We know his schedule. And so we feed him, and sometimes he sleeps in the basement too. And so I thought, wow, little black kitty, that's what we call him because that's his name for us. Little black kitty, or little black cat. He must have been like really freaked out when I came downstairs and jumped off of there really fast and, you know, made the bed move, made the feeder move. Didn't think much of it. So then Bill got home from his trip and he was feeding the cats, and one morning he went downstairs and he's like, you've got to see this. The whole feeder was on the floor upside down. Like, this is a heavy feeder because it was pretty full. Like, that's crazy. That's hard to believe that the cat did that. Right. Well, then I don't remember if it was later that day or the next day, he calls me downstairs again. He's like, look, and there's little raccoon footprints. Like, if you've ever seen raccoon footprints, you know what they look like. They look like little hands, and they're very hard to mistake. There were little raccoon prints on our garbage can down there, like he was trying to climb up the garbage can. I have an elliptical downstairs. There was footprints on there. Maybe he was working out after he ate, who knows. But they were all over several things over in that part of the basement. So we have a raccoon coming in our basement eating, which explains all that other stuff being in disarray way clearer than that little black cat. Okay, so that night, Bill decides, well, we have to block that door and not let that raccoon in. We don't want a raccoon in our house, especially because, like, it could come upstairs. We definitely don't want that. And we can't close the door at the bottom of the stairs because then our cats can't get to the litter boxes, which are downstairs. That would be bad. So he decided, you know, I'll make sure all 5 of our cats are in the house so that nobody gets stuck outside at night. And then he blocked it off. He put, we have a big bucket that has kitty litter in it. You know, they come that way. Anyway, so he shoved that up against there, and then he had another bucket that had like a lot of heavy rocks in it. Because we have those laying around here. So he sat that in front of the door, and he's like, there's no way that this raccoon can come in this door with this, like the cat flap. Let me back up. First, before we put that stuff in front of the door, we were laying in bed, like we had gone to bed, and we heard noise downstairs. And we're like, oh, that must be the raccoon. So Bill went down, and lo and behold, the raccoon was in the basement. And I came downstairs, and he's like, he's right outside. And we could see him. He was just looking in through the cat door. And he had tried to take one of the jugs that we have, plastic jugs that have dry cat food in them. He had tried to take that out through the cat door with him, and he couldn't, so he took the lid off and had dumped a bunch of it on the floor. So Bill had cleaned most of that up, but he was still, even with us standing there, he was popping in through the door like, hey, don't mind me, and eating this cat food off the floor. We're like, okay, this can't happen. So once he left, we scurried him away. That's when Bill put these buckets in front of the door. He's like, okay, this is super heavy. I don't think he can move this. This should be good. So we came back to bed. And we could hear him downstairs. Like after we turned the lights off, we could hear him flapping that door like outward, trying to get in for a while. And then we both finally fell asleep. Next morning, we got up and Bill's like, he pushed it. He was able to push it far enough that he was able to climb in, and he toppled the garbage can, which is the big garbage can that we put like dirty kitty litter in. It was a mess. And so obviously the next night we had to try something better. So now Bill's got this thing where there's a piece of plywood that he's putting in front of the door, and then we have a generator like on wheels, you know. It's super heavy. He wheels that and pushes that up against the plywood, and so far so good. The raccoon has not been able to move that. I'm not sure I could even move that, frankly, in the direction that he'd have to move it. He did really beat on the door the first night until he realized he wasn't going to be able to get in. The past couple of nights, I don't think he's even tried. We haven't really heard him down there. The only downside to this is now little black kitty can also not get in at night, and we can't like wait for him to come in and then block the door, because he would completely freak out, because he does not like to be trapped in the house. If he thinks we're getting between him and the door, he runs out. Like we can't do that. So now he's not getting in. Now the good thing is like it's warm. It's not like there's snow out there, and I'm sure he's finding food other places, because I doubt that we're his only stop. But it's still sad because we've been working really hard to foster a relationship with this little black cat, to try to, you know, tame him and take care of him. So now we don't really know if he's coming in at all, like later in the morning after Bill has moved the barricade, you know, so that he could maybe get in. We're hoping he has, but you can't stand down there and watch. So anyway, that's our saga. Oh my gosh, nature is insane here sometimes. Oh, and we have a bear. Did I tell you that? Not in the basement. Yeah, our neighbor called and said they found bear scat in the yard, which isn't a shock. We have bears. We have, I think, black bears, little black bears around here. Yeah, yay. So anyway, that's our raccoon saga. So between the raccoon and the root canal and other issues and doctor appointments, I'm just kind of tired. So let's talk about things that are bringing me joy, because as cute as that raccoon was, not exactly joyful about the raccoon. Honestly, at this point, just stupid little things that make me laugh are bringing me joy. Like, I look for those in my day, and a lot of times they end up just being like TikTok videos, because that's where I can get my joy. TikTok videos. Any of them that are silly, and like if they have like silly cat antics, so much the better. Silly any animal antics, I'm there for it. Because sometimes I'm just like, by evening I'm so tired, like not physically necessarily, just like my brain, I'm done. I can't think. I don't even have the gumption to try to knit. I just want to lay and not have to think and not do any of the things and just like veg out. And I watch funny stuff on my phone. And I make no apology for that. A couple of things I did want to share with you, though. Actually, just one, because the other one I didn't bring in. Maybe I'll share it another week. Something that is very, I find, uplifting, and it's this deck. Is called Sweet Ass Affirmations 2. I guess there was one. I don't remember if I shared this before. I feel like maybe I did, now that I'm suddenly talking about it. But I'm going to share it again, because maybe you didn't see it. Or maybe you forgot, like I apparently did. Anyway, this is a deck of cards. I backed this on Kickstarter, and they're just affirmations, but they're really fun affirmations. So big deck of cards. They have all kinds of different drawings on them. Oh my. Mushrooms. Anyway, so the fronts have the affirmations. I am only available for kick-ass things that make me feel serene. Like, that's my kind of affirmation. As I align my habits, decisions, and actions with my dreams, my creative ideas become real things. My gut is the captain of my intuition mission. So the fronts have those, and then when you turn them over, the backs have a more detailed explanation. So this one, as my lighthouse shimmers for others, it lights my own way too. That was actually one that I pulled this week. It says, of comets and stardust and moonlight symphonies, your glow is a lighthouse for all the ships lost at sea. By creatively and passionately embracing your hero's journey, your energy becomes an alluring guiding light to others who may feel broken or hopeless. Keep sharing, connecting, and offering your vulnerable wisdom. As your lighthouse shimmers for others, it lights your own way too. So they're just really short. I love the way the ones on the front are worded. The drawings are cute. So I have been trying to like just make a habit of every day. I just kind of pick one at random, read it, leave it sit there so I can see it during the day. And, you know, it's just a little encouragement. Like, because who doesn't need a little bit of encouragement? So anyway, I will try to put a link somewhere where you might be able to find this, because I'm not actually sure where they're available now since the Kickstarter is obviously done, but I'm sure they're available somewhere. So I will try to put a link in. Anyway, that's all I have for you. I have no idea how long this podcast is at this point because I've had to walk away and do things and I left the camera running and like I have a lot I'll probably have to cut out. Wow, the sunlight is really, really coming in here at the moment. Look at that. Is that like a new wrinkle? Oh my gosh. Maybe it's an old one that the light's just hitting weird right now. Don't look at my wrinkle. Anyway, I hope you guys are well, and I hope you are finding encouragement and affirmation somewhere in your days. And if you need to, you don't need my permission, but if you need permission, I give you permission to just like park yourself somewhere, stop thinking for a little while, and just veg and enjoy really silly cat videos or whatever kind of videos like make you laugh. Like, that's what's important. That's it. I'm going to go. And like I said, I will probably do a special, just a little extra video whenever I prep my combo spin. So you can be looking for that. All right, I'm going to go. Have a good week. I love you guys. Take care.